I know how the various assaults on our country from Democrats can be kind of hard to keep track of. Democrats have help from their sleeper cells in government, most of the corrupt press, and an electorate that is criminally uninformed. But when you look at leftists and their anti-American goals, you begin to see how everything is kind of tying together and why our people, and only our people, have a prayer of stopping them. The anatomy of leftist anti-Americanism. That's my focus in today's preamble. The Constitution is in Democrats' way. More accurately, it's in the way of left-wingers, whether they call themselves Republicans or Democrats, doesn't matter. Everything those with a leftist mindset do is in furtherance of eliminating the protections afforded to you as a citizen under the Constitution. Some of you might be asking why. Well, it's simple. The Constitution was created to put chains on government, to put restrictions on government, not you. The Constitution was created to protect your rights from the natural evolution of governments, that unholy tendency to seek power and to control. It's a natural impulse of those in political power. The Constitution checks that destructive impulse. At least we thought it did. Democrat whistleblower says that Adam Schiff authorized the leaking of classified information to create a narrative over facts to target President Trump. The whistleblower reportedly described Schiff's actions as treasonous and illegal. Not only has this information been sent to Congress, perhaps to make sure that Adam Schiff is no longer able to access classified information, but the declassified documents are also under review by Pam Bondi's DOJ. Declassified documents also show that disgraced former FBI director and seashell enthusiast Jim Comey is also accused of leaking classified information to a professor from left-wing Columbia University, who in turn leaked that info to the biased press that used it to frame President Trump rather than reflect the truth and reality. The compromised FBI, even knowing about these potential leaks, did nothing, claiming, well, we couldn't find out for certain who leaked when to what. A real journalist, Catherine Herridge, is revealing a goldmine of information as newly declassified documents reveal that the Schiff is really hitting the fan, implicating another well-known leftist, Eric Swalwell. The congressman, made famous by his intimate relations with Fang Fang, a spy from Communist China, showed up in the declassified documents, Herridge reporting on X, saying, quote, according to the FBI, known as a 302, redacted, noted Swalwell has been the source of a lot of leaked information and had to be counseled to be more careful. These FBI records were also provided by FBI Director Kash Patel to Congress, end quote. If you are among those silly enough to think that Congressman Swalwell isn't guilty because he didn't know what he was allegedly doing was against the law, how does that work out for Americans who claim, well, I didn't know I was speeding, or I didn't know the person I was having intimate relations with, spilling classified information to, was a spy from Communist China? Then there's Hillary, the subject of a lot of alleged illegality, but this isn't surrounding her hacked and illegal homebrew server or her confirmed mishandling of classified information. This nugget deals with a newly declassified timeline showing how the investigation of the Clinton Foundation was hamstrung by a corrupted FBI and DOJ, while baseless Russia collusion narratives and accusations marched forward in both those agencies against President Trump. Then there was this from yesterday, breaking news right here on the Chris Salcedo Show. Jim Clapper, Obama's boob, running the ODNI, bullied other intel agencies to abandon safeguards, abandon evidentiary standards, and create a baseless narrative that Russians hacked the DNC.
Clapper began. Mike, John, Jim, understand your concern. It is essential that we, CIA, NSA, FBI, ODNI, be on the same page, Clapper wrote, and we're all supportive of the report, in the highest tradition of, that's our story and we're sticking to it, quote unquote. This evening, Clapper continued, CIA has provided to the National Intelligence Council the complete draft generated by the ad hoc fusion cell. We will facilitate as much mutual transparency as possible as we complete the report, but time, Clapper warned, is not negotiable. We may have to compromise on our normal modalities, since we must do this on such a compressed timetable. This, Clapper concluded, is one project that has to be a team sport. Jim.
By now, you're all seeing that these activities were classified not to protect this country and our people, but to protect those who were, by all appearances, breaking the law and their oath to this country. Remember what CNN, MSNBS, the other left-wing media said? This is all a conspiracy theory. You know, it's what they say about everything they don't want us to question. It's what they say when they are doing truly awful, traitorous, and anti-American things, things that threaten our rights and our mutual compact, the Constitution. Here's one thing I can say for certain. In my lifetime, whenever my rights have been curtailed, whenever my family has been injured, whenever government has dispensed injustice, there's always been a leftist on the other end of it. The left wing in this country is the lie, and they keep on committing crimes on top of crimes to cover up that little fact. Only an informed and united American people can stop a criminal cabal of communists. Please make a vote of it. You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.